So Islam is a religion that views itself as a continuation of prior traditions, specifically the Judaic and Christian traditions of monotheism. Islam views all of these traditions as having come from the same source, from God, that God created this world and created human beings, and just as God gave the rest of the world guidance on how to function from all the different components of this universe, God also did not fail to leave humans, which are described as the crown of creation, without some kind of guidance to live their life. And so Muslims believe that from the very first human being, Adam, God sent down that guidance to instruct Adam and his children and descendants how to live a godly life. And through time, that message got changed or forgotten, and so God sent other messengers, including Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and finally Muhammad. And Muslims believe that all of these prophets came with that same message, which is basically the belief in one God and the desire to live a righteous life by following God's guidance. So that is the worldview of Muslims, that their way is a continuation of a prior way that was passed on at different time periods to these different prophets, and that Islam is the last kind of expression of that way that was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in Mecca, which is in today's Saudi Arabia. At that time it was the Arabian Peninsula, some 500–600 years after the death of Jesus, and that the teachings of Muhammad really confirmed a lot of the prior teachings, so that if one were to look at the Quran, which is believed by Muslims to be the holy book revealed to the Prophet Muhammad through the angel Gabriel, one finds numerous commonalities in terms of beliefs. So Muslims, like Christians and Jews, believe in one God as the creator and sustainer of this world. They believe also in other beings, such as angels. Most well known is the angel Gabriel, who is believed to have brought divine revelation not only to Muhammad, but to some of these prior prophets. Muslims believe that some of these prophets, I mentioned a few of them, but there are actually 25 mentioned by name, most of whom are also mentioned in the Old Testament. And that is why you'll find it very common for Muslims to name their children after these prophets. So you'll find Muslims name Moses or Musa, Abraham or Ibrahim, Isa or Jesus, because Muslims respect and revere all of these prophets. And Muslims believe that some of these prophets were also recipients of holy books as a way of leaving guidance for the people after the death of these prophets. And there are 5 of these holy books actually mentioned by name in the Quran, including the Torah, the Psalms, the Gospel, and of course the Quran. And the Quran conveys a lot of the same commandments as these prior books. You know, don't kill, don't steal, don't lie, don't commit adultery. The prohibition against pork is also mentioned in the Old Testament. So again, nothing terribly new or unique in the Quran, but a continuation and completion of the prior messages. And then of course Muslims believe, as some of these other faiths, that this entire world is a place of testing for all humans, and that at the end of this world, heralded by the Day of Judgment, human beings will be tested and held accountable for the way that they behaved in this life, and based on that will be either rewarded with heaven or punished with hell, as a way of holding people accountable. So that's basically the worldview of a Muslim. And for Muslims, Islam is an ethical, it's a moral system. It is a foundational system that instructs many aspects of our life, from how we treat other people, respect for our parents, respect for elders, charitable actions, many, many common, obviously, areas with other faiths as well.